What's going on, guys? It's Coach Noob back in the building with another one. As usual, it's going to be jam packed with jewels. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything but hear me checking out these reviews. And it's another wild one, bro. It's about a murder suspect who Googled, "Can I kill an illegal human?" So let's get to it. You already know how I do it.
Baytown police have finally made an arrest in a months-long murder investigation. Tonight, our exclusive conversation with the suspect, Ty Vaughn, accused of shooting his fiancee in the face in January and then staging it to look like a suicide. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live tonight with the story.
Hey, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making, man. And look, shooting your fiance in the face, bro, is not the best mental decision to be making, man. And then, making that's because he was in his feelings, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason to shoot somebody in the face. You're not even married to her, bro. Even being married to her, it's always easier to get a divorce and not make your life worse. And now making another bad decision, bro, which is staging it like she did that to herself and made it look like a suicide when it was really a homicide, bro. So when you're in your feelings, like I always talk about, man, you make irrational and illogical decisions, man, and it leads you to make more of them once you're there and you're already doing it. So that's why it's so important to keep cool, stay calm, and if you have to, man, you got to walk away so you could save yourself some trouble, man.
Tom, we spoke to Ty Vaughn on the phone 3 weeks after the murder. At that point, his fiance's death hadn't even been ruled a homicide, and although police were looking into Vaughn, they hadn't yet named him a murder suspect. That all changed yesterday when he was charged with murder, and tonight we could finally reveal all the disturbing and baffling allegations against him. Police say 31-year-old Ty Vaughn's stories never added up. He first told investigators he'd been arguing with his fiancee, 27-year-old Luis Banos Norberto, and
Hey, 31 years old, bro, is young, man. 27 is young too. So at 31 years old, man, you should have at least some type of idea of what you want to do and be working towards that, you know, and instead of putting all your time and energy into, the person that you're with and making them your whole world to the point where if something doesn't go your way, like an argument, because it said they were arguing, and we all know that most times arguments, they lead to domestics, and domestics lead to homicides, man, because people can't control their feelings or they want to be heard so bad, get their point across that they're willing to do anything at that point to do that, and it always ends up putting them in a worse situation than when they started, man. Instead of just being level headed and walking away, because when it's not working with somebody, it's just not working, man. And if you're always arguing, then that's what's gonna happen, bro. Because neither party is working on being a bigger person or compromising, which you do have to sacrifice and compromise in a relationship, man. Well, so much compromise, so much more, because you really shouldn't have to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? What you've been doing and grinding and all that. If you have been grinding and building, but anyways, man, arguments, bro, is really it's different from a disagreement, man. A disagreement is when you talk about it, and if you guys don't agree, you leave it there and you agree to disagree, and you go on about your day, and it's really not a big deal after that. You guys just know where you stand on that particular situation. But argument, that's yelling, you know what I'm saying? That's getting heated, and then most of the time, sometimes it could lead to, what I'm saying, fighting, and then we all know, man, fighting, it's up from there.
came home the morning of January 14th to find Norberto dead in their unit at the Crosby Green apartments. But after viewing surveillance video and interviewing neighbors, detectives soon pieced together a timeline. At 4:05 a.m., when Vaughn claimed he wasn't home, Vaughn was seen walking up the stairs to his apartment. Two neighbors then heard a gunshot.
So he was already bluffing, bro. Lying about what he was doing and all that, man, which, you know, it's not a good situation when you have to lie about what you were doing. Like putting yourself in a worse position after you already made one messed up decision, man. That's why it's so important to be able to have the wherewithal to walk away, man. Get up out of there, man.
4:27, he texts his fiance, who's already dead. Babe, why are you not texting back? Then at 5:38, 93 minutes after the murder, Vaughn finally calls 911, telling dispatchers, quote, "My spouse is dead. Help. My life is over."
Yeah, your life was over because you already messed up, bro, and made some messed up decisions and try to cover it up, man. You know, instead of being able to move on with your life from messing with one person, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get up out of there, man.
Right next door, and it's even more nerve-wracking that could happen, and we had no idea it even happened.
No one except a cat at Vaughn's apartment today, but the morning of the crime, police say they found the victim's body lying on a bed, a rifle propped up against one of his arms, and nearby, a torn-up picture of the victim and suspect. They're now accusing Vaughn of moving the victim's body and staging things to look like he'd killed himself.
Yeah, with a rifle, though, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, man, back of your head is off or something if you did that, and, you know, it was just, dude, it wasn't well thought out. You could tell it was something that he did. He was in his feelings, like a crime of passion or something like that, man, when they were arguing and one thing led to another. They probably started fighting, and he shot him, bro. Because, you know, it's kind of hard to shoot yourself with a rifle, you know, because it's long. And, I mean, you got to be sitting a certain way or something like that and then you're going to blow your head off, or you're going to blow the back of your head off or something when you shoot yourself with a rifle or a shotgun or something like that, bro. So, yeah, we already knew it wasn't adding up, man. Dude was just in his feelings, and when he got out of his feelings, he realized the magnitude of the situation, and he tried to cover it up, and it wasn't working.
Interviews with police, they say Vaughn repeatedly brought up his fiance's immigration status, unprompted, and when they searched his phone, they found he Googled, quote, "Can I kill an illegal human?"
And then this right here, this is the icing on the cake, bro. Can you kill an illegal human? Which we already know, no. You know what I'm saying? Because murder is against the law, or killing somebody is against the law in the United States and a lot of other places too, man. Especially just for argument, something like that. And, you know, you could tell he really wasn't thinking at all, bro. Not mentally, not spiritually, none of that stuff, bro. Because who even thinks about Googling something like that? Can you kill an illegal human, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You can tell ICE or something like that, and they'll come in and get them. And, you know, if it was like that, but yeah, bro ass was off his square, bro, when he did that, man. That's just crazy.
A query that left his neighbors speechless.
How could you kill a person? Not an immigrant. Is it legal to kill a person? Because the bottom line is it's a person. It's a human being.
We spoke with Vaughn on the phone 3 weeks after the murder, before he'd been named a suspect. When we asked him if he'd spoken to his fiancée the day of the murder, he replied, "I don't know. The police know all the details."
And that sounds kind of guilty too, though. Like, how don't you know if you talk to somebody the day of his death, man? Like, you know, and you're just making yourself seem more guilty and trying to cover up for what you were doing, which is crazy.
We asked him what police were telling him. His reply, "I don't know. I have been kind of not great. I haven't really been going to police looking for answers. And when we offered our condolences, quote, I mean, it is what it is.
So he didn't know again when they asked what the police were telling him. Then when they offered their, it's not funny, offered their condolences, he said it is what it is. Does that sound like somebody that really cares about the person or what happened to them? No, it doesn't, man, because that's the last thing on your mind is saying it is what it is, or you don't know, or even Googling, can you kill an illegal human, bro? Like, that's going to make things better, which it's not, man. That's why, it's always important to think about what you're doing, man, before you do it. Even if you find yourself getting into an argument, that's the best time to practice and be able to walk away from a situation so it doesn't get worse, man. But anyways, it's Coach Snoop. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. Anytime is always appreciated because you can be doing anything but you and me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.